Hello and welcome to Super Sunday Club this Sunday. I hope you're well and you've had a good week and you've enjoyed the sunshine as well as the rain we've had over this last week. So I wonder if there's anything that you're scared of. Maybe my little friend here. But he's not too scary. He's quite well trained. I've got a little quiz for you. And I'm going to put up 3 different fears, the names of fears, and I want you to guess which one you think is the correct answer. Here goes.
So here's my first question for you. Pogonophobia, what do you think it's a fear of? Do you think it's a fear of ice lollies, the fear of going on a pogo stick, or the fear of beards? What do you think? Ice lollies, pogo sticks, or a beard? Well, if you thought it was beard, you are correct. Pogonophobia is a fear of beards. Our next one is equinophobia. Now, is that the fear of the number 5? Is it the fear of horses or the fear of the sun? Which do you think? 5, horses, or sun? Well, it is horses. Equinophobia. And our last one, tonsuriphobia. What is that the fear of? Is it the fear of having your hair cut, the fear of tuna fish, or the fear of heavy weights? What do you think? Getting your hair cut, fear of tuna fish, or heavy weights? The answer is the fear of getting your hair cut. Who knew?
We're all scared of different things, aren't we? We find different things frightening. For me, I don't know, small spaces probably. And well, a long time ago when I was little, I had a scary situation in a storm. It was all calm when we decided to go out in a boat, but then the wind started and the rain started and it got really scary very fast. Do you know what I did? I sang songs to Jesus and I prayed and asked God to help me. And well, here I am today. Do you know Paul faced a lot of tricky situations? A lot of times he must have been very scared. Sometimes he was chased out of town or beaten up for telling people about Jesus. Remember in our last video, we heard about him being put into chains and put in jail for telling people about Jesus. Well, this week, I've got another story for you. And you can find it yourself in the book of Acts, chapter 27 and 28. And it tells another account of Paul and how he had to depend on God. Oh, and you might have to look out for my friend because he makes an appearance too.
Paul and the shipwreck. Paul had his fair share of enemies, those who didn't believe in Jesus and didn't like Paul telling people about God. Some of them told lies about Paul and said that he should be put in prison, even though no one could prove that he'd done anything wrong. He had to stay in prison a long time. Finally, Paul said he wanted to go to the city of Rome in Italy and tell his story to the ruler of Rome, Caesar. Paul thought that Caesar would listen to his story and let him go free. Italy was a long way from the city of Caesarea, where Paul had been kept prisoner. There were no planes in these days, so Paul had to sail in a ship. A special Roman guard named Julius had to stay with Paul at all times. Julius was very nice to Paul, and when the ship would stop at ports, he would let Paul visit some of his friends in the churches there. But bad storms made the trip very hard. Paul told the captain and the owner of his ship that it would be very dangerous and they should wait until the winter was over before they went on their voyage. But he didn't listen to Paul. He probably thought Paul didn't know anything because he was just a prisoner. But soon, everyone wished they'd listened to Paul because the storms grew worse and worse. The captain tried to dock the ship at an island called Crete, but the wind was too hard and blew the ship out to sea again. The sailors on the ship were so afraid that the ship would fall apart that they tied a rope around it to hold it together. The storm kept blowing day after day. It was so bad that it seemed like the ship was going to sink. The sailors threw everything on the ship into the sea so that it would be lighter. They even threw out most of their food. Everyone on the ship was scared and hungry. One day, Paul stood up and said to everyone on the ship, "You should have listened to me before. Be sure and listen this time, because I have good news. An angel came to me last night and gave me a special message from God. The angel said that none of us will die. The ship will crash on an island, but we'll all be okay. I know God will take care of us, and what the angel said is true." I wonder what the other people on board the ship made of this. It must have seemed impossible. But finally, after 2 weeks, the ship got close to an island. It was the island of Malta. Paul told everyone not to worry. He told them to eat some food, well, some of the little that was left, and that would help them feel better. The captain tried to sail the ship to the beach, but the ship crashed on some rocks. Everyone who could swim jumped into the water. The rest of the people who couldn't swim floated in on the boards and paddled to shore. Some of the sailors wanted to kill the prisoners so they wouldn't escape, but Julius was looking out for Paul, and he told the men none of the prisoners were to be harmed. Remember how Paul had told the captain the ship would crash but no one would die? Well, it happened just the way the angel told Paul it would. There were 276 people on the ship, and not one of them drowned. It was raining and very cold. The people of Malta began making a fire for the people from the ship. Paul wanted to help, so he began collecting sticks to put on the fire. Once, when he bent down to put one of the sticks in the fire, a poisonous snake jumped out and bit him. Paul just shook the snake off and threw it into the fire. The island people couldn't believe what they saw. Well, anyone else who'd been bitten by a poisonous snake would die, but Paul didn't. They thought he must be some kind of god. But Paul told them no, he was a follower of Jesus. Since the ship had wrecked, all of the passengers had to find places to stay until another ship could come. Paul went to the house of Publius, who was an important man on the island. Publius' father was very sick, but Paul prayed for him, and the man's sickness went away. The islanders thought Paul was wonderful, and all the sick people on the island wanted to visit Paul so he could make them well. Paul and Julius stayed on the island for 3 months until another ship came. Paul had faced some tricky times as a follower of Jesus, but he knew he didn't do it alone. He trusted Jesus every step of the way.
And when Paul got to Rome, he was allowed to stay in a house rather than a prison, although he had guards to make sure he didn't escape. But Paul didn't mind, because he was able to tell people about Jesus, and that's all he ever wanted to do. And that is the end of the book of Acts. Now we're going to sing a song, and this song is called The King of Me, and it's by Rend Collective, which is the name of a Christian band. I'm going to show you the actions. I'm just going to show you the chorus, because it goes, "My God's the King," so your wee crown on your head. "My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions." Let's see your best lion impression. "My God's the King of the creatures of the deep," so maybe a big mouth. "Oh. My God's the King of me." And this song then goes through 3 different people who trusted God when things got scary. It tells us about David, who fought against Goliath the giant. It tells us about Daniel, who ended up in a lion's den. And it also tells us a bit about Jonah, who found himself in the belly of a big fish. Now, Paul would have known about all these 3 people, about David, about Daniel, and about Jonah. And he probably learned from them that we can trust God, that when we're scared, we can ask him for help, and then we can know that we're never alone. So before we sing the song, let's just say a little prayer. Father God, I thank you that you are the King of us. Thank you that we can trust you. Thank you that we can read about people who've trusted you in the Bible. Thank you for the story of David and Daniel and Jonah and Paul. And help us to be like them, to trust you and to tell others about you. Amen. So enjoy the song. My thanks again to Ellen Parish Church for letting us use their video and music, and have a very good week. Now, this is going to be the last of our videos over the summer, because over the summer we have a holiday club happening. And if you haven't registered yet, please do that. There's a job form that you can either email me at hazel.abbeychurch@hotmail.com, or you'll find it on the Facebook page, which is NB Churches Holiday Club. Or you'll find it also on the Abbey Facebook page as well. So have a great summer, and hopefully you'll join us for Holiday Club. Enjoy the song and see you again. Take care. Bye.
My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. Have you heard the story about my friend King Dave? Wouldn't let the giant stand in his way. He said, hand me my sling, 'cause he's not that tall. My God is bigger and I'll watch him fall. My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. Have you heard the one about this guy called Dan? He was a mighty holy praying man. He said, throw him to the den of the scary beast. But God saved our hero from the lion's teeth. My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. This is more than history. He will do the same for me. Like Jonah ran the whale at sea. When I'm lost and afraid, all alone in the dark, you're with me. Oh, you're with me. My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. My God's the King of